I have, for a long time now, hypothesized that Vader's castle might be in scale with the Imperial Light Cruiser from 2021. Typically, when I want to know if I can turn something into a surprisingly scale or not, I can just look up the dimensions of a ship if I don't already have it memorized. However, in the case of Fortress Vader, that is not possible as no canonical size for this structure exists. I could just call it quits. After all, I am in no short supply of surprisingly scale ideas. But I won't be doing that because I am crazy, a crazy dog. And while I will absolutely never profess to being street smart because I'm not, when it comes to mathematical intrigue, I am all there for it. And we start with this shot here. The dimensions for Krennic's shuttle are actually very well defined. In universe, Director Krennic's shuttle sits at 25.1 meters tall when it is in its landed position. The portion without the landing gear is about 97.26% of that distance, or 24.41 meters. Then we can come in a little bit closer here and draw a vertical line and a line parallel with the wings. Slapping on a protractor, we see that the angle between these two lines is about 9 degrees. So, now we have this triangle with a side length of 24.41 meters and an angle of 9 degrees there at the bottom. And the wing of the ship itself is the hypotenuse of this triangle. Those of you familiar with trigonometry will know that cosine of theta equals adjacent over hypotenuse. And those of you unfamiliar with trigonometry will just have to trust me. We can solve for the hypotenuse and plug in our values, and find that the wings on Director Krennic's shuttle are about 24.71 meters long. Going back to this shot from the Rogue One movie and slowing it down considerably, you can pay attention and watch for when Krennic's shuttle and Vader's castle are about the same distance in the foreground. And that point appears to be more or less right around this frame here. For added ease of measurement, we can highlight one of Krennic's wings. And then, as for Vader's castle, we can highlight a portion from the bottom of the windows to the bottom of that central spike. Feel free to pause right here so that you can double check my measurements if you want, but I found that this highlighted portion of Vader's castle is about 5.909 times the length of Krennic's wing. Krennic's wing is 24.71 meters, which means that this chunk of Vader's castle is 146.01 meters. Let's get the full height of Vader's castle since that last frame is cropped off. So we had that this section here was 146.01 meters long, and then the entire castle from the bottom of the window to the top of the spire is about 1.669 times the length of that other part, or 243.62 meters. Rounding up real quick to get back to three significant figures, we have 244 meters as the height of Vader's castle, at least from the bottom of the window to the top of the spire. I'd say that that's a pretty good estimate, so if any Wikipedia editors out there are watching and they also think is a good estimate, I'm just saying, it would be cool to have this video as a Wikipedia citation. Anyways, now that we have Vader's castle's height, all that we need to do is determine if these two really are scale. Step 1 is the eye test to see if it's even worth checking exact measurements. Now, there are several different variants of the Light Cruiser and therefore a few different sizes. Those sizes are 275, 325, and 381 meters respectively. I like to use the 325 measurement just because it's a nice meeting point in the middle. But yeah, after doing the eye test, it looks like these are potentially scale with each other. So then you go ahead and measure them, and obviously I'll do a much better job when I actually measure them than I'm doing for this footage right here. And well, now I have an answer as to how close to scale these two are, and you'll get to find out what that answer is this Thursday when the next episode comes out. And if you have no idea what this whole surprisingly scale thing that I've been talking about is, then why don't you check out the playlist to the full series on the end screen right now? And if you are already familiar with it, then you can check out whatever the other video is here on the end screen.